Welcome back to the second episode of how to trade market maker models. So in this video I will talk about order blocks. For the summary of the video I'm going to first define bearish and bullish order blocks. I will then talk about high probability order blocks, and at the end I'm going to show you some live examples of order blocks so you can better understand this concept. So for bearish order blocks, you want to imagine that price is trading up into an higher time frame PD array or an all high. So in this example, we're going to take an higher time frame FVG, and so you want to imagine that price is trading up into this high time frame FVG, and when price reach into the FVG, you want to see price to make a market structure shift here. So you can see there's an old low, old high, old low, old high, and this is the low that created the move that went into the fair value gap. So when we break this low here, it's going to create a market structure shift, right? And after the shift in structure, the series or the only bullish candle here that ran into this fair value gap is going to be your bearish order block, and you will want to see price to reach up into the bearish order block and then continue lower. Now for a bullish order block, that is exactly the same thing as before, but it's going to be inverted. So you will want to imagine that price is trading down into an high time frame PD array or an old low. So for the same example as before, we're going to take an FVG here. So price is trading down into the fair value gap. We will then see a break in market structure here. So this is the high that created the move down for price to come down into the fair value gap. And after price closed above this high here, the bullish order block is going to be the candle or series of down close candle that went into this low here, and we would want to see price to come down into the bullish order block and then trade higher. I made a clean example of a bearish order block so you can better understand the concept. So imagine that there is a PD array here. So I talked about fair value gaps, but it can be another order block, it can be a breaker block or things like that, but you want to imagine that price is trending up, create a lower low, then ran into the high time frame PD array. After that, you want to see price to create a market structure shift, and the order block is going to be, so in this instance, the two bullish candle here that ran into the high time frame PD array, and so that is going to be your order block. So from here to here, this is your whole order block. And basically when price is going to create market structure shift, like right here, you're gonna see often an FVG forms. So you have a fair value gap and your order block, and you will want to see now price to come up into this order block and then go down. At the beginning of the video I said that there was two types of high probability order block, and we are going to see the first type with this example. So that's an example that took place at the end of last week. So you can see here imagine that we are bullish on silver, right? And we want to see price to go up into this buy side liquidity here. So we can see that price created a 4-hour fair value gap here, and if we drop down in time frame, so the 15-minute time frame, we are going to see that there is a low here, right? And one type of high probability order blocks are candle that purge liquidity in the opposite direction of where you want price to go. So in this instance, we want to see price to go up into this buy side, right? So we want to see price to reach down into this 4-hour fair value gap, then create an order block, and we would want to see price to come down into the order block again, and then push straight higher, right? And that is going to be a high probability order block because it's a candle that purged liquidity or took sell side here for this example in the opposite direction of where we want price to go. So I'm going to show you. So we can see here that there is the FVG, and now we're waiting for this to happen. And look, that is the order block I'm talking about, because it's a candle that purged liquidity, and now we want to see price to come down into this order block and go higher. There, there, there. And you can see how price comes down 4 times into the order block to then go higher. For the second type of high probability order blocks, it's when price retests a high time frame PDRA in the opposite direction of where you want price to go. So for example here, price took buy side, then shifted to bearish, okay, and you can see that there are these clean lows right there, right? So this is sell side liquidity here, and we can see that price retested a high time frame PDRA there. So this is now our order block. We closed below these 2 candles, so this is an order block, and we have also a fair value gap here, so we will want to see price to come up into the order block and the fair value gap, and then go straight down and take the sell side. So I'm just going to mark out the whole order block here, remove this and this, and this is the order block, and you have the FVG here, for example, like that, right? So let's see what happens, and you can see that price is really unable to go above the FVG, so this is a clear sign of bearishness, and now we're gonna go straight down to the target. So that's the second type of high probability order block. We are now on GBP AUD, and I'm going to show you a last example of high probability order block. So price retested a weekly fair value gap, and we have equalize up there, so we want to see price to go up and take this liquidity. So we have a 4-hour fair value gap here, price went down into it, then broke structure to the upside right there. So I'm going to mark out this run on sell side here. Now we created a fair value gap, and price went down into it, then went back higher, and that's the second type of high probability order block. So you know, manipulation candle that retest a PDRA in the opposite direction of where we want to go. So we want to go higher. That is now a high probability order block, and we would expect price to come down into this order block and then push straight higher. So I'm going to play and see price retested the order block twice, once here, and then went to the buy side right there. That's it for the second episode of how to trade market maker models. If you learned something new, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, and I will see you soon for episode 3.